Hello and welcome back, Transformer fans. Okay, um, now this is episode 2 of whatever series this is. Now, there was somebody I was on Facebook on one of the G1 or one of those boards out there, community boards, and I was trying to say how I like this jazz, but his mobility and posability is very limited because this can kind of swing this way, but I don't want to break it. But you can't twist his hip around at all. It's just stiff. I mean, yeah, you have a little mobility, but then this part goes down very, very easily. So you don't want him to fall, but I mean, you can try to, get him in a bit of a funny pose. Okay, Wanda. It's no problem, or something like that. I don't know. But and now that this part in here is real loose. When I first got this figure, it was really tight. So much that I don't know if I can do it now. Definitely would need to take this part off. I think that's his going. I was able to, maybe I did it this way, where I actually had him at a point where I could, like a balance point for him like this. When I first bought the figure, and I even took a picture of it, and I've lost the picture. And so this, okay, that wants to turn turn a little bit. And now that joint's really, really loose. And it's just, and unlike the original G1 figures, they may have had their issues. They may have been small. They were much simpler to transform than these things are, that's for sure. But, I enjoyed my G1 Ironhide like it was a teddy bear. And I was able to, they had screws in them. And I tightened up my Ironhide's joints like you wouldn't believe. Because he would get loose. But you can't do this with these guys. There's hardly any, here's a point there and a point there. But there's no screws. It's just like, it's just what do you call it? I can't remember. But yeah, I cannot get this guy. Maybe I had it like this, but I was able to get Jazz. Yeah, get him, and no, I am not holding it from the top. All right, and yeah, his hand is flipped over, but boom, picture worthy. He's doing a break dance or something. Let's flip this back, his hand back out. We have to swivel his arm around, his shoulder around. This can turn a little bit. It can go back and forth. That joint there, you can see the joint. This can only go up and down, kind of. And what I meant to complain about Blitzwing is that his shoulders don't move much, and you're stuck. Because you can really, with Jazz here. Let's try to get his legs right, and see, you can't move this does not swivel whatsoever. Blitzwing could swivel. These could swivel. A lot of other characters, legs, even for a $25 figure, I can't believe I'm saying that, can swivel, but not this Jazz figure. I guess it's how they have this in here, that they don't allow this to swivel, it may have been too problematic or something for that kind of, flip that back down. You know, maybe get him in an action pose. Maybe have a cool backdrop or something for him. I think this is his gun, right, guys? And I do like his head joint, because even though that can go down, because that's how he transforms, his head can go up and down a little bit. And the head has got a lot of mobility. So you can really get him in some really cool action poses here. Of course, unless this is not the Studio Jazz gun, I think it is. Here's this recolor, this really ugly orange one that after I bought it, because I got this for like $12. That Jazz, I'm not sure. Maybe 20, maybe the 23 or something. I don't remember. But now these are actually swiveling a little bit. So maybe they fixed that to some extent to where now I can put his feet at more of an angle. These are so, maybe they're just tight. But they're so tight, I feel like I don't want to break them. So yeah, I can swivel them a little bit. But maybe that's what they because that's kind of what this series of videos is about, is like, you know, cool poses for photos and stuff, and ideas and whatnot. But yeah, this one seems a little better. I mean, I got a little more range here than the Studio. So yeah, so maybe they fixed that. Even the shoulder seems slightly reworked. I mean, it looks exactly the same, but I don't know. Maybe they did a little something. But even I'm able to move these out better than the Studio 86, or maybe I got not a bad figure, but maybe a first run or something like that. But you know, especially with these shorter guns, it's kind of cool to try to have them maybe a little bit at an angle. So that, well, or some sort of cool pose going on there. With the longer gun, it's, you know, kind of, there was an old comic, I don't know if it was Dreamwave or IDW, where of Jazz or Blue Streak or somebody, and they had it where, you know, kind of a really cool pose. If only his hips would just, I've got a bad hip. I may have bad hips now, but and he wants to fall backwards because they're so loose. It didn't used to be this loose. To actually just have the gun pointing up behind him, kind of like that, and you know, have them together in a cool Charlie Angels kind of pose. But I don't have a third Jazz of a different color. Do you have a different Jazz of a different color? I watch TV. You watch TV. So, you know, there's the two Jazzes here. As ugly as this one is, I really do. I have yet to transform this one into his car mode. This one I've done a few times. It's not that hard, but again, in the past year or two, sorry, I got my meaty hand in the way. The quality control for Hasbro's figures just doesn't seem as good. Is it just me? Then say, you know, going back to, you know, this guy, drag strip, who was I think, let's get them all three in here first for the heck of it. The difference in color is kind of cool. And I don't, maybe that's how he's supposed to go, but I like it that way because it looks like he's got feet better this way. But you know, even the plastic on this drag strip, he was the first Stunticon that I think that was officially released, and I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool. And it was before the prices went up to $25. So I think I got this drag strip here for like $15, $19 plus tax or whatever, and not, let's get him in a cool pose too, because that's what this is all about. And just being able to, you know, gun at the ready, fist at the world. Let's see here. Yeah, I like these hips better. Yeah, he's got some really good motion here. So if I have his feet wrong, I've got his feet wrong. But, you know, fist at the world, kind of Decepticon. And got a little bit of showing off three characters kind of all at the same time here. I didn't really go over drag strip because he wasn't part of this video. The jazzes were, but it was more of quality control, because even this plastic feels better. It feels harder compared to these guys. But again, the jazz figures do seem more delicate. They also have the, gosh, Studio, he just wants to flop and fall all over himself now. Has the clear windows, so I don't transform them much. I haven't transformed him at all, just because trying to move these parts, I just feel like I'm going to break them. I just feel like I'm going to break them. So there's that. But I really do like, and you've seen me do a little bit of stop motion with this jazz here. You know, but that I don't want to go too long. I want to keep these little videos pretty short. Whew, let's get him out of the picture. So, what say you? Golly, maybe I should pause and let's do that. So with that, we're going to end the video right now. And, you know, pretty good action poses here for the two different jazzes that we've got of the new model. I really like them. I just, again, I wish that the hip motion was a little easier without feeling like I'm going to break it. Being able to transform it where I feel like I'm not going to break it. I know they did, I think, another jazz in a 4-pack where the paint is actually for the windows is actually solid, I think. And I just don't have the money to get those 4-packs because they're like, you know what, $70, $80. And even at $80, that makes it $20 a figure instead of $25. So you are getting a pretty good deal for the most part. But, you know, I just don't have that kind of money to, you know, really waste right now. But man, have you taken your Dramamine yet? I used to say that all the time when I was doing the videos on the cards at a little table. We'll see you next time. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for seeing what this is about. And what are these videos about? Showing off the little articulation of these figures and getting them in some cool poses for ideas for you to help photograph your own figures if you have these. And we'll see you next time. And as always, war is everywhere I want to be. Excuse me, transform and roll out.